I'm Grace Torie, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Torie, and I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. If you're watching this, or I'm sure you can probably tell by my voice, I look a mess, I sound a mess, and it's because I am, in fact, a mess. Not even sure if I'm a hot mess at this point. I might just be a mess. Yeah, obviously I'm sick. I went to the doctor. I was on antibiotics, and they were like, these aren't doing anything, so we're going to put you on different antibiotics. So now I'm on different antibiotics. Seeing how these go, I stayed home from work today because I sound awful and I feel awful, so that's super fun for me. Hopefully, the plan is to go back tomorrow, but yeah, that's pretty much it. This episode is probably definitely going to be shorter than my typical ones because I am losing my voice, like it's going in and out. But I still wanted to get something up for you guys because you're my A1 day ones. So what I'm going to be doing is, basically, I have my notebook that has all of my goals for 2022 in it, like from like a year ago. And so I'm going to read those off and see like where we're at now. I think it's going to be cool. It's 222 today, which I actually have a tattoo. If you're watching, you can probably see it on my fingy that says 222. It's a really important number to me. And with being sick, whenever I feel down and like don't know where to go, I try to look back to see how far I've come. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing. I feel like this is going to be kind of spicy because I know there's some that I didn't accomplish or things like that. So it's not going to be like a boring, like, yep, did that. There's definitely going to be some tea. So if you are looking for motivation to complete your own goals, how I like worked towards the ones I did complete and failed the ones I didn't, definitely keep on watching. There's really no life updates this week other than the fact that I am dying. I did try to go to the doctor for my hormones. They took literally like 5 vials of blood. And then they're supposed to be getting back to me. So that'll be fun when we get back to that. I know some of them came back normal, but I was like, oh, hell no. Like, there is something wrong with me, and we are going to fix it. So with that being said, I am going through my notebook. I have not looked at these in like a year. We are going to look through them together. I think I might have done an episode on this a long time ago where I was like, oh, these are my 2022 goals. But I don't know. And I kind of been wanting to do this video for a while. So let's see. My first episode or goal, words are just not working today, was to journal every day. I think that lasted about 2 days. Did not do that. I do want to get back into journaling every single day. I've said that so many times, but I don't think it's going to be something where I go from like 0 to 100 and just start journaling every day again. I think it's something that's going to take some time. So I'm still interested in doing that. Did not do it. I think this second one is very, like, it could be combined with journaling every day. I think I could consider this journaling, but write a gratitude list every morning. I do this off and on, like I go through phases, and I think writing it is so much more powerful than just like saying it, but I do think that sometimes I just say it and that is really like all I can do. I just want to get my health together because like I just have absolutely no energy to do anything other than like the bare minimum. So this, even just writing 3 things that I'm grateful for on a list stresses me out. So have not done that officially, like, every single morning, no, but I do go through phases where I do it for, like, a week, and then I stop, and then I do it for, like, a week, but it does help your mindset. 3 is get active daily. I'm not there yet. Gosh, this is off to a horrible start. It's just all the things I haven't done. Not there yet, again, with the health, but I have taken steps to get there. Like, I definitely go see my horse a lot more. I got a gym membership. I'm not going as much as I would like, but I'm trying to work out my schedule so that I can. I was literally talking to someone about that last night. So has it been over a year? Yes, but we will get there. We'll get there. This is literally just me exposing myself. But only DoorDash once every 2 weeks. This is one of those where we get really good where we're like only DoorDashing like on a Friday night or something. And then I get sick or Josh gets busy and like neither one of us can cook. And we go back to DoorDashing. So I have been making an effort to cook. I've been grocery shopping and things like that. But yeah, I think we're definitely down to 2 times a week, which is way better than where we were at. We were at like every day, but not down to once every 2 weeks. That was very ambitious. Keep environment clean and cleansed. I think that a huge part of this was moving because our environment in our previous house was not clean, nor was it cleansed. And by that I mean like spiritually cleansed, like saging it and all the good things that you need to do to keep it good energy. I definitely think I've done that. Could it be cleaner? Yes, but I think that that's just life. Like, you're always going to have more laundry. You're always going to have more dishes. Our house is lived in, but it's not dirty. And, like, I talked about this in my other episode. Like, my last episode, I cleaned for hours to get to that point. And there are some things we could still clean, but I think overall our environment is cleaner. I do think I achieved that one. It took me a long time, but I did. Focus on the positive. I was in a very, very dark headspace when I wrote these, like, genuinely. And it honestly hurts my heart how dark of a place I was in. So I think that I go through phases where I'm really, really positive, and then I get kind of negative again, and then I'm really, really positive. But I'm constantly working towards trying to focus on the positive, and I don't know how much of that is mental issues that, like, I'm just gonna have for the rest of my life, like disorders that I have that I'm gonna have to work through. My bunny's playing with his metal bowl, if you can hear that. You know, I have certain chemical imbalances that are gonna make me lean more towards negative thinking. So am I gonna be the most positive on the person planet? What? I can't talk. Am I gonna be the most positive person on the planet? Probably not. Like, it's definitely something to strive for, but I do have days where I'm just not there, and, like, my mental health is worse than other days. But I think overall I have gotten out of the funk that I was in. It was justified. It wasn't like I was just in a funk to be in a funk, but it was definitely justified. But I think that what I was intending to do, I did. It's just going now, like, the goal has improved. Like, the bar was set at a certain point and I hit that bar, and now I'm trying to be even more positive, if that makes sense. So I think that I achieved that one. 7 was rent a house. Like I said, I was in a house with 2 other girls, which was fine. Like, we were honestly really clean. But I was at Josh's, like, every day, and he lived in the frat party house. So that was, like, a huge thing for me. That contributed to the being in a clean environment. It really stressed me out. So renting a house was a huge thing for us. We had, like, some disagreements on if we were going to live together, if we were going to have roommates. So there was a lot going on when I wrote this, like, what is going to happen? I actually, after I wrote this list, I went on to look at apartments, and I was going to move into an apartment by myself. With my pets, and then we were just gonna move in together, like, later. But we did end up renting a house, and we also decided we want to stay here for another year. So that was a huge achievement. Definitely a big girl thing. I think we did that in April. So hindsight, it was coming up, but it was very, very stressful in that moment. Financial stability and wiggle room. This one is really, really big because I was living off of, like, student loans. And Josh's job is 100% commission, so it's not the most reliable job in the world, and he works really, really hard. He's really good at his job, but it's not like we're going to get the same paycheck every single time from him. So my job is more of the, like, stable job. Like, we know we're going to have it coming in. Would I say that we have wiggle room? Not always. It just depends on how much he makes, since it's so commission reliant. I would say we're financially stable for the most part, though. Like, I paid off, like, my credit card debt, and, like, we don't have to, like, scavenge for food, which we had to do at some points. And, you know, we have our utilities due on time and things like that. Like, the things that matter are done, but I wouldn't say that, like, for example, my car is done. Like, I need a new car, and I cannot afford a new car right now, so I'm driving one of Josh's. And, like, could he like, could I get another one and him help me pay for it? Probably, but I'm not going to ask him to do that. So together, I think we're financially stable, but on our own, there's some things we want to achieve that we are not financially stable in that respect, which I think is pretty normal for our age. Like, we're doing well for our age. Visit Moondance 2 times per week. I was definitely doing that when it got darker later, but now that I have an 8 to 5, because I was still in graduate school when I wrote this, so I had a little bit more wiggle room. Now I work 8 to 5, and it gets dark at, like, it was getting dark at 5, and now it's getting dark at 6:30. It's a 45-minute drive to the barn from my house and my work. So I really only see my horse Moondance once a week, which I do want to see her twice a week, but I think that that's the most I can do with my schedule right now. So I, like, considering the circumstances and how different they are from when I wrote this, yeah, I agree. Like, I think I achieved that. Successful TikTok. I really wanted my TikTok to grow, and it has, like, my spam, the one I was focusing on at the time, has like 1,300 followers, so nothing too shabby, like too shabby, but I think I've shifted my focus a lot. This was before the podcast, and I think that having a successful podcast is much more important to me now. I've also been working on the animals TikTok, so that has been, I definitely think that's a quote-unquote successful TikTok, but I think I would switch this out with my successful podcast, and that's not to say that I don't want a successful TikTok. Like, I still post, and I still think it's fun, and it would be nice if it was, like, a huge following or anything, but I think that my interest just shifted to moving over to a podcast, and I would definitely say that the podcast is successful, so shout out to you guys for that. So yeah, 11 is self-confidence and love for myself. I will definitely say that I did not find myself, like, attractive, or I didn't have any self-confidence a year ago, and it's one of those things that comes and goes. I think I was really jealous of my past self last year, because, like, the person I was a year ago was jealous of the person I was a year before that, because she was a lot healthier. She was working out every day. I didn't have the same responsibilities that I had, and I just looked healthier. Like, you know how you glow from the inside out? I wasn't glowing from the inside out, and I literally had COVID when I wrote this, so, like, I definitely wasn't glowing. So I think that there's still more room for this. However, I have spent the last year trying to get my health in control and my hormones and finding out what's wrong with me, and I think that that is definitely a strong amount of self-love. And one of the a main reason I'm not self-confident is because whatever is wrong with me keeps me from, like, glowing inside out and looking healthy, and it gives me acne because my hormones are out of whack. So I'm definitely am loving myself through it. However, I think that by being healthier and, like, trying to get to the bottom of it, I am going to eventually find more self-confidence, and things like going to the gym and eating at home more are contributing to that as well. So I don't think that I'm where I want to be. I'm definitely not where I was a few years ago when I was just, like, glowing, but I think that it's a process and I'm getting there. I wrote more independence. I'm trying to figure out in what sense. I don't know if that's from Josh or if that's from my family. I don't remember. I will say that I'm pretty independent. Like, when push comes to shove, I definitely put up with a lot less than I would have, and I'm not afraid to, like, do things on my own because I know that I'm capable. So I'm definitely more independent than I was. I think I just felt trapped. Like, I had to have certain qualities or certain things, and since I didn't have that, like, I was really dependent on, like, for example, I was in school, so, like, Josh had the main income, and so I felt really trapped, like, that if I had to pay for something or I wanted something, it was very, like, hey, can I borrow this? And I hate asking, like, it's not that he has any issue in the world, like, he is literally the kindest, nicest person ever. It was my personal issues and feeling like that was wrong. So I think that I was talking about that sense, like, just feeling like if the world ended tomorrow, I could take care of myself. Or, like, if I was on my own tomorrow, I'd be able to take care of myself. And I think that I could now. There'd be a lot of changes. I'd have to definitely adjust a lot of things, but I'd be able to get it done. More self-discipline. This is something I've talked about so much on the podcast. I definitely think I have a lot more self-discipline. It's still something I'm working on, and I have since been diagnosed with ADHD, which makes a lot of sense and is part of the reason why I have such horrible self-discipline, because like I just can't, my brain just literally won't function to get things done, but I have a way to like fix that now. So I think that I have more self-discipline, but I definitely have a long way to go. Learn when to say no, I definitely have, and now I think that I'm at the point where I protect my peace a little too much. Like I say no a little too often. So I want to get back to the point where I'm still seeing friends and stuff, because I was getting really stressed out, and I was like, hell to the no. Like, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I just feel like I say no to a lot to protect my peace, and now I want to get back to getting out of my comfort zone a little bit more and not saying no. So I hit that one a little too hard. So I also have a manifestation board from this, my button is popping off. I have a manifestation board from this day too that I want to kind of go over anything that wasn't on the first one. I am disciplined and motivated to achieve my goals. We talked about the self-discipline, but I think that I'm definitely more motivated as well, because I'm not... Bourbon, are you good? I'm like not as sad as I was, which sounds really sad, but when you're like depressed, you have no motivation, and so I think I definitely am. I also think this podcast has helped me with self-discipline, because I have to like I am determined to do well and be successful, so I have to like post 2 podcast episodes a week, bare minimum, and I try to post on socials more. I've been lacking lately because I've been so overwhelmed with being sick and everything, but you know, this has definitely given me a lot more self-discipline, and I'm proud of myself for doing this for, how long has it been? I started in June, so however many months that has been. I believe in myself and don't need anyone to validate that. I think it comes and goes. I definitely know my worth. I'm just like before I 100% was like, no, I can't do it. And now I'm like, I can do it, but I need reassurance. So I think that I'm somewhere like in between, if that makes sense. So I have more belief in myself. I have more, what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence in my abilities, but I'm not there yet. I live a fulfilling life where I do what I love. I definitely am almost there. Like, there's always going to be things you have to do that you don't want to do. And so I think that I'm learning to become okay with the things that I do not want to do. But I do love my life, and I genuinely try to be more present in it, because one day, like, things are going to change, and things are changing so fast. Once you graduate college, things change so fast. Like, in May, I'll have been graduated from everything for a year. Like, I'll have been out of school for a year. And that is insane to me, because I feel like I was literally just at UK. And I'm definitely really sad. Like, I still wish I was in college, because there are some things that, like, adulting, I just don't feel ready. Like, I don't feel like I'm an adult. But, I mean, overall, I do love my life. I love the podcast. I love the little things I get to do. I love Josh and all the things we get to experience. So I've been really trying to lean more into those experiences and just be more like, I don't know, like, get more of what I love into my life and kind of lean back and remove the things I don't love so much. But I think that's pretty much it. I know this episode is shorter. I told you guys it would be, but thank you so much for sticking around. Sorry I sound this way. I can't help it, guys. Hopefully this antibiotic helps. If you don't mind sharing the podcast on your Instagram story, I would greatly appreciate it. I will repost it if you tag me at thatgirlthepod. Also follow me on TikTok at thatgirlthepod as well. If you don't mind leaving a rating and review, it skyrockets the amount of people who see this podcast by just like one review. So if you don't mind, I would love you forever. It would mean the whole world to me. I would love to grow our community of girlies all working to become the best version of ourselves. Whatever that means to you, we are going to help you get there in a judgment-free zone or judgment-free place. Where do they say judgment-free zone? Is that Planet Fitness? I don't know. I'm not trying to get sued. I'm sorry. But I love you guys so, so much. If you're watching this on a Wednesday night, I hope you have a great night. If you're watching this on any other day, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night. And I will see you in my next podcast episode. Bye, guys.